Good morning, my students. How are you? I hope all of you are very well. Today we will start a new lesson which is useful expression. So open your students book page 101 and your workbook page 51. As you know, at useful expression lesson always we talk about new sentences and new questions and new phrases. We will use them in special situations. The situation we will talk about it today is analyzing a problem, discussing 5 points, and exploring options. Let's start with analyzing a problem. In analyzing problems, we will use what is the issue here. Issue, it means a problem. Number 2, I think the major problem is. Number 3, our primary concern is. Number 4, the crux of the matter is. Number 5, we really need to take care of. Number 6, it all comes down to this. Now, number 2, discussing 5 points. 5 points, if I wanted to discuss 5 points, 5 points, it means go points. Number 1, we need to discuss the most important point here is the main things we need to discuss is let's look at it's look like it appears that. Number 3, exploring options. If I wanted to explore options, we will use let's look at option 1. What do you think about plan B? How about the third alternative? Alternative, it means بديل. Number 4, let's consider Bella's proposal. Number 5, let's look at the fourth choice. Number 6, should we move on the next point? Now, please, my students, we will do exercise A and B at your student's book and exercise A and B at your workbook. So, keep looking at these situations and these sentences and the question. You will use them to answer exercise A and B at your student book and to answer exercise E and B at your workbook. Let's go. Fill in the gaps in this mini dialogue. Number 1, I really don't think is this going to work. I think we will use it from number 3, exploring options. What do you think about that? Number 2, I think the time element is the problem. I think we will go to analyzing the problem because we talk about what is the problem. So we will use what is the issue here. Number 3, what can we do then? What can we do then? I think we will use it from exploring option. Like, let's consider should we move to the next point? Number 4, this proposal seems really practical to me. I think we will go also to exploring option, which is let's consider Bella's proposal. Number 5, how can we solve the problem? We need to discuss it. I think we will go to number 2, discussing points, because we talk about how solving the problem. Let's go to exercise B. So in exercise B, I need it from you to stop the video and start doing them. You have just 5 minutes, so stop the video and start doing them. Thanks a lot. Please, my student, check your answers with me. Number 1, you want to ask someone about the problem. Because you want to ask someone about the problem, sure, you will use from number 1, analyzing a problem. What is the issue? Because you want to ask someone about the problem. Issue, it means a problem. Number 2, you want to give your options or on solution for the problem. Sure, you will use from number 2, discussing 5 points, which is let's look at my option because you want to give your opinion. Number 3, you want to suggest a different solution. What do you think about that solution? I think you will use from number 3, exploring option. A friend doesn't understand your group group's problem. It appears that you don't understand that problem. Now, number 5, you conclude a problem solving solution. It all comes down to this last alternative. Now, let's go to exercise A at your workbook, page 51. In exercise A, page 51, we need to what we will say in this situation. Number 1, Vine's doctors are really worried about his heart condition. His parents don't know the best way to deliver the bad news to him, that he cannot practice sport anymore. A nice young doctor was left with Vines to talk to him and tell him the test results and how avoid the faints. The doctor doesn't know how to start. What do you suggest to him? What would you suggest him to say? We will use it from number 1. We really need to take care of your heart condition. Then he will explain or he will analyze his heart condition. Number 2, people at Rosary Town are suffering from lots of blackouts. They went on protests which led to riots. The governor, Robert Holman, gave a speech to calm the people down. What would you suggest him to say to gain their trust back? I think we will use also from number 1, analyzing the problem. Our primary concern is solving your problem, because they need to solve their problem. Number 3, Alan is in the middle of the meeting. He and his team are discussing the instructor proposals for the new project. He likes someone's proposals. What do you think he should say to his team? Because he likes someone's proposals, I think we will use, let's consider spell as a proposals from number 3, which is exploring options. Now, please, my students, check your answers and let's go to exercise B. In exercise B, we need to fill in the blank in these dialogues. Number 1, what are we do to this problem? I think we will go to number 2, which is discussing 5 points we need to discuss this problem. Number 2, what do you think of my plan? Also, we will go to number 2, discussing 5 points. It's look like such a good plan. Number 3, let's look at the reason. The major problem is heart disease. Any problem you want. Heart disease, failing the exam. Number 4, the first solution doesn't work. I think we will go to exploring options. From number 3, how about the second alternative? Because first solution doesn't work. The last one, there is no way out. Let's look at the first choice from number 3, which is exploring option. Now, please, my student, check your answers. And thanks a lot for your listening. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask your teachers. Thanks a lot for your listening. Goodbye.